The Silent Gift, a Buddha story of letting go. Prologue. Once in ancient India, nestled between towering mountains and lush green forests, lay a small village named Siddhigram. The people there lived simple lives, working in the fields, tending to their cattle, and gathering in the evenings to share stories. They were content, yet they carried burdens of their own, worries, anger, jealousy, and sorrow. A wandering monk arrived one day, his robes dusty but his face serene, carrying nothing but a wooden bowl and a radiant smile. It was none other than Gautama Buddha himself, known far and wide for his wisdom and compassion. The villagers eagerly gathered around, longing to hear his words. Among them was a young man named Arun, whose life was consumed by resentment and pain. Arun's anger. Arun was a hard-working farmer, but fate had not been kind to him. His father had died young, thus leaving him to care for his mother and younger sister. He toiled under the scorching sun, yet his crops often failed. His neighbors, who once stood by him, had turned away when he needed them the most. He harbored a deep resentment toward them. Why does life treat me so unfairly? He often asked himself. Why do those who betray and lie prosper while I, who work honestly, suffer? When Arun heard that Buddha had come, he decided to go, not out of faith, but to challenge the monk. He had heard of Buddha's teachings about letting go and forgiveness, but Arun believed such ideas were foolish. People will trample on you if you are too kind, he thought. The encounter. As the villagers gathered, Buddha sat under a large banyan tree, his presence calm and unshaken. When it was Arun's turn to speak, he stood up and said with bitterness in his voice, I have worked hard all my life, yet I only find misery. Those who lie and cheat live in luxury. How can you tell me to forgive and let go? Isn't it foolish to be good in a world that rewards the wicked? The villagers fell silent, sensing the anger in his voice. Some even nodded in agreement. They too had felt betrayed at some point in life. Buddha smiled gently and asked, Arun, if a man brings you a gift, but you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong? Arun frowned, confused by the question. It belongs to the one who brought it, of course. Buddha nodded. Now tell me, if someone insults you, betrays you, or treats you unfairly, but you do not accept their hatred, to whom does it belong? Arun was silent. Buddha continued, just as a gift remains with the giver if not accepted, so too does anger and betrayal. If you do not take them into your heart, they remain with those who gave them. Why carry burdens that are not yours? The lesson in the market. Arun struggled to accept Buddha's words. He wanted to believe, but his heart resisted. Seeing this, Buddha decided to give him another lesson. The next day, Buddha asked Arun to accompany him to the village market. They walked through the crowded lanes where traders shouted about their goods. A man selling sweets recognized Buddha and offered him a bowl of fresh honey cakes. Buddha accepted them with gratitude and shared them with Arun. Then they came across another vendor, a man known for his greed and ill temper. When he saw Buddha, he sneered, What are you doing here, monk? Preaching to fools again? Buddha smiled but said nothing. The vendor continued insulting him, but Buddha remained silent. Eventually, the man grew frustrated and turned away. Arun, however, burned with anger. Why did you let him insult you? You should have answered back. Buddha calmly said, If a man offered you a bowl of poison, would you drink it? Arun shook his head. Then why accept his anger? Buddha asked. He gave me his hatred, but I did not take it. It remains his, not mine. Arun's transformation. That night, Arun lay awake, reflecting on Buddha's words. He realized how much pain he had carried, pain that belonged to others, pain he had chosen to hold on to. The next morning, he decided to let go. He walked to his neighbor's house, the one he had blamed for years. When the man saw Arun at his door, he braced for a fight. Instead, Arun simply said, I have carried anger toward you for years. Today, I choose to put it down. The neighbor, shocked and ashamed, lowered his eyes. I too have wronged you, Arun. I am sorry. From that day on, Arun changed. He still faced struggles, but his heart was lighter. He no longer carried burdens that were not his to bear. Epilogue. Years later, when Buddha visited Siddhigram again, he found a different Arun, a man at peace, his farm thriving, his heart full of kindness. Arun bowed deeply and said, You gave me a gift that day, Master, the gift of letting go. Buddha smiled. And did you accept it? Arun nodded. I did. Buddha patted his shoulder. then it is yours to keep. And so the lesson lived on, passed from heart to heart, reminding all who heard it that anger is a gift best left unaccepted.